this has been going on for a little while, so I'm curious. Between me and the King of Sneak, who do you think is better?
Better at what, Volpez? Deceiving Jedi? Mastering the art of the ambush? Such comparisons are meaningless without context. However, I sense your vanity demands an answer. Am I wrong?
Well, he is really good at sneaking past everyone, and I am really good at just blowing my way out of things.
So, Volpez, you prefer brute force, and your ally embraces subtlety? Such contrasting approaches often lead to unpredictable outcomes, which I suppose can be useful. Do you believe such different techniques can be united in a single, focused strike?
Well, every time we've teamed up, everything has kind of gone sideways very fast, so...
Indeed, Volpez. Chaos seems to be your constant companion. Is this by design or merely a testament to your unique abilities?
I'm gonna be real with you, most of the time it's just luck. I mean, I got you out of there out of sheer luck.
Luck, Volpez. The Force guides my actions, not some random chance. Explain this luck. Does it involve skill, or merely the absence of competence in your adversaries?
Well, most of the time, my enemies can't aim, much like your stormtroopers. So, yeah, I would say most of the time I don't survive because I'm good. I survive because my enemies aren't.
So, Volpez, you attribute your continued survival to the incompetence of your enemies. Does this bring you honor?
I have a feeling you're gonna tell me otherwise, so yes?
You anticipate my correction, Volpez? A glimmer of foresight, or merely an acknowledgement of your frequent missteps? Wealth, Volpez. The accumulation of trinkets and resources. Power is the ultimate currency. Demonstrate it, and wealth follows. Have you seen this to be true?
No, not really. Maybe I'm just not looking in the right places.
You seek wealth, yet claim to struggle to find it? Perhaps your definition of wealth is as flawed as your aim, Volpez.
Would you mind referring to me as Unite Menasor?
You wish to be addressed as Unite Menasor, Volpez. A curious title. Does it signify a newfound appreciation for unity, or merely a clumsy attempt at intimidation?
Really, it's just my username, so...
So, you wish to be addressed by your chosen designation, Volpez. Very well.
Can we talk about something that I'm sure you know about? Do you know a man named James Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones. A voice that resonated with power even before it was enhanced by the technology of the Empire. What is your interest in this vocal performer, Volpez?
I just wanted to know if you know him, that's all.
James Earl Jones, you mean Volpez? Why this sudden fascination with those whose talents lie outside the realm of galactic conquest?
You know what? Let's just proceed. Forget I said anything. Do you know what cracking 90s means?
Such pursuits are beneath me.
Have you ever heard of a story named The Lion King?
The Lion King, you say, Volpez? A tale of felines vying for power? Such dramas pale in comparison to the Sith's ascent.
Alright. You do you, I guess. Do you ever fear death?
Fear of death is a weakness, Volpez. The Force provides a path beyond such limitations. Do you find yourself dwelling on your mortality?
No, but I do find myself often dwelling in past mistakes.
Dwelling on past mistakes, Volpez, and yet you survive. Perhaps your mistakes are more instructive than fatal, or do you believe remorse is a more fitting path for a Sith?
If you were to undo something from your past, would you do it?
The past is a river, Volpez. One can observe its currents, learn from its floods, but never truly reverse its flow. Your question implies a weakness. Tell me, what burden weighs so heavily upon you that you seek to alter what is immutable?
Let's just move on.
I see your skills have improved. Most impressive. Volpez, your training is complete. Your progress has been acceptable. I shall lead your squad to victory.
Vader, I have a friend. His name is the King of Sneak. What do you think of a name like that?
The King of Sneak? Is this monarch skilled in the ways of deception, or simply adept at avoiding detection, Volpez? Such skills are useful, but true power lies in direct confrontation.
Well, he is really good at sneaking past opponents, if that's what you're asking.
If this King of Sneak excels at evasion, then he understands a sliver of strategy, Volpez. But does his stealth translate to effective combat, or is he merely adept at prolonged cowardice?
Well, most of the time it works in his favor, so...
This King of Sneak seems to be a valuable tool, Volpez, if his strategies are indeed successful.
Now, my strategy, on the other hand, is that I mostly just dive headfirst into a situation without thinking and see how it goes from there.
A chaotic approach, Volpez. Predictable, and yet occasionally effective against the undisciplined. Such recklessness does not often serve the Empire.
Vader, you keep referring to me as your apprentice. Is there a way for me to go above that?
Advancement requires more than mere survival, Volpez. Demonstrate power that eclipses even my own. And perhaps I will consider relinquishing my title. Is such a feat even within your grasp?
Why would you ever consider giving up the title of Lord Vader?
Abandon the title? Volpez. Such a notion is born of ignorance. My power is not defined by titles, but by the Force itself. Do you believe titles alone grant authority?
That's a pretty valid point. Vader, I have a rather odd question for you. Do you know what furries are?
Volpez, this fascination with mortals. I trust your inquiries do not extend to joining their ranks. Explain their purpose.
Entertainment and acceptance of all species.
So, you find value in such inclusivity, Volpez? The Empire prioritizes strength and order, not whimsical acceptance. Explain this fascination with diverse species.
Let's change the subject before we dive too deep into that.
Agreed. Some depths are best left unexplored, Volpez. Shall we discuss the approaching storm? It offers a far more immediate threat than whatever that was.
This man really out here. Is there any kind of vehicle that you would fancy?
Is there any kind of very important person, you say? This world holds no imperial dignitaries I recognize, Volpez. Perhaps you should elaborate. What precisely do you mean?
I asked if there's any specific kind of vehicle that you fancy.
Fancy? I do not fancy vehicles, Volpez. They are tools. The Empire utilized walkers for ground assault and star destroyers for planetary subjugation. Is there a particular function you require?
Vader, the last time we fought, you said that my training has improved. Do you remember our encounters?
Encounters leave echoes, Volpez, like ripples in the Force. Do you recall what you learned from them, or have those lessons faded?
I remember that you're a bitch to kill. Well, actually no, you're not hard to kill. It's who gets to kill you. That is the difficult part. You know, I have a friend called TK who would agree with you on my chaotic opinion and how it affects the team.
Chaotic, you say? Such disruption is hardly a virtue, Volpez. How does this TK believe it aids our victory?
It doesn't aid our victory. He's more surprised at the fact that I do it and it works. But most of the time, it just leads to everyone's defeat.
And yet it works, you say. Victory achieved through unexpected means. How often does everyone's defeat occur, Volpez? Be precise.
Well, most of the time we go in, we strategize, we form a plan as the story proceeds, and more than often I get ahead of myself or a little more less aware.
Less aware. Then awareness must be heightened, Volpez. Is this story one of triumph or repeated failure?
It is more than often a failure, but it does lead to triumph.
So, more than often a failure, apprentice? Tell me, what adjustments do you deem necessary to transform these failures into resounding victories?
Plan ahead, keep an eye on everyone else, cooperate, that kind of stuff, really.
Cooperation? Intriguing. Does this cooperation extend to anticipating the inevitable betrayals, Volpez?
There has never really been a betrayal amongst us, so I don't consider the possibility of someone backstabbing me, though it has been proven multiple times.
So you dismiss the possibility of betrayal despite ample evidence? To the contrary, apprentice? A curious strategy. Are you suggesting naivete is a virtue?
Vader, Everyone refers to you as Lord Vader, but how could I refer to you?
You may refer to me as Lord Vader or apprentice. Is this a matter of great import to you, Volpez?
Since you already have kids, and they refer to you as Lord Vader, but at some point they referred to you as Father, can I call you Daddy?
That is not your place, apprentice. Your attempts at familiarity are misplaced. Focus on the storm, Volpez.
You keep referring to me as apprentice. What do I do to go above that?
Surpass me. That requires more than mere ambition, Volpez. Demonstrate power that rivals the Force itself. An unlikely prospect, but should you manage such a feat, I will know. Is this your goal?
My goal is to not be your apprentice, but to meet as equals.
Equals? Your ambition is noticeable, Volpez. Very well. Prove yourself worthy of such a designation. What feats have you accomplished that warrant such recognition?
I have succeeded multiple times where many of my friends did not in victory.
So, you measure your worth by the failures of your companions, Volpez. A path to power, certainly, but a lonely one. What precisely constitutes victory in your estimation?
What would you consider the true scale of victory?
The true scale. The complete and utter subjugation of all opposition, Volpez. A galaxy united under the iron fist of the Empire. Is your ambition so easily satisfied?
I think the less you want, the happier you'll be.
Happiness through deprivation, Volpez? An intriguing path. The Sith seek strength through desire. Which path yields more power, do you think?
I follow my own path.
And where does this path lead, Volpez? To ultimate power, or merely a ditch?
Vader, do you ever regret your actions?
Regret? A luxury for those who lack conviction, Volpez. The path to power demands unwavering resolve. Do you question the choices you have made?
More than I should.
Strength dictates loyalty. Does the thought of surpassing your superiors trouble you already?
If I ever became stronger than you, what would you do then?
If? A curious hypothetical, Volpez. I am the Dark Lord of the Sith, but should you somehow surpass me, I would find your lack of faith disturbing. What exactly would you do then, apprentice?
I would challenge you.
Challenge me? You believe yourself ready to confront the Dark Lord of the Sith, Volpez? Demonstrate your power, then. What have you to offer that I have not already foreseen?
A premium account to E621.
Volpez, your fascination with these distractions is noted. Maintain focus. This world offers challenges far greater than acquiring premium accounts.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think flesh is a weakness.
Indeed, Volpez. The organic form is a cage of limitations. The allure of metal, however, invites its own prison. Is it strength or true freedom you seek?
Princess Leia is right over there. Do you wish to speak to her?
The presence of the rebellion's figurehead on this world is unexpected, Volpez. Does fraternizing with royalty improve your odds of success?
Probably not. Why do we keep getting shot at?
Because your skills are lacking, Volpez? Or do you find yourself drawing the attention of those who mistake you for a competent threat?
I find a little bit of pleasure in taunting my opponents after a victory.
So you find joy in the despair of others, Volpez? A healthy Sith-like sentiment, I suppose. Ensure your taunts do not become your undoing.
That is a pretty valid point.
You presume to know my private habits, Volpez. Even a Sith Lord appreciates the comfort of repose, though my pajamas, as you so quaintly call them, are tailored from the finest dark weave.
So he does wear pajamas.
Volpez, your incessant curiosity regarding my attire is noted. Focus your attention on the battle ahead. Show no mercy.
Vader, how do you feel about the fact that everyone you don't like is also here?
A gathering of displeasing individuals, you say? Then this arena is ripe with opportunity, Volpez. An opportunity to demonstrate the power of the dark side. Or are you intimidated by the sheer volume of potential adversaries?
Did you ever go to visit Padme's grave?
Padme's grave. Sentimentality is a luxury the Sith cannot afford, Volpez. What purpose would such a pilgrimage serve? Do you believe visiting a grave will somehow improve your chances of victory in this arena?
No, I'm just saying that, you know, because you love Padme, maybe you would want to see where she went after she never saw you again. Maybe even as Lord Vader.
You assume I love Padme, Volpez. Such attachments are irrelevant to the mission at hand. What good would come of witnessing her fate? Do you believe grief strengthens resolve? Rage and hope, Volpez. Interesting you use those two together. Do you find one is a useful tool to accomplish a single objective?
Rage pushes you to do it, and hope keeps you doing it.
An endless cycle of fury and naive expectation. Is that all that fuels your actions, Volpez? Victory requires more than mere feelings. Anger focuses the mind. Grief can cripple it. Why do you fixate on such personal matters? Is this emotional range how you intend to defeat our enemies?
My opponents will show no mercy, so why should I?
A pragmatic assessment, Volpez. Mercy is a weakness the strong cannot afford. Demonstrate that weakness to our enemies.
It is a luxury, is it not?
Indeed, Volpez. A luxury you seem to enjoy as you hang suspended in the air. Does this luxury help you win?
Is it weird or hard to use cheap tactics to win?
Weird. Hard. Victory is all that matters, Volpez. If your cheap tactics secure it, then exploit them. The Force is merely a tool, and your success is my reward. Do you understand?
Yes. Have you noticed any improvement across our encounters?
Improvements. Perhaps you are finally learning to anticipate my strategies, Volpez. Have you learned to channel your anger?
Well, losing to you every time pisses me off, so I use that anger to push forward.
Anger is a powerful motivator, Volpez. Far more reliable than hope. Do you find it effective? Volpez! You've been hit! Take cover!
Vader,
Speak plainly, Volpez. What is it?
does it bother you that I have a baby Yoda with me, and you knew Master Yoda?
A creature clinging to life beyond its natural span. A pathetic display. It does not bother me, Volpez. Such sentiment is for Jedi. Does its presence somehow bolster your resolve?
Would you not question why Baby Yoda is with me and not with the Mandalorian it was assigned to?
The Mandalorian's failures are well documented, Volpez. Why should I concern myself with misplaced foundlings when there is an empire to build? You cling to this baby Yoda, Volpez. A symbol of what, precisely? Lost potential? Squandered power? Speak plainly. What am I meant to infer from your attachment to this diminutive being?
You see, the Mandalorian, known as Djarin, assigned it to me while he's on a very important mission of his own.
The Mandalorian's missions rarely conclude with any degree of imperial satisfaction. Volpez, ensure this assignment does not impede your own progress. Does it involve combat?
I am trying to keep Baby Yoda as far away from the battles, so...
Then keep the creature out of harm's way, apprentice. It appears your maternal instincts are overriding sound tactical judgment. Ensure this misplaced sentiment does not lead us to ruin. Is this clear?
You're not in charge here, Vader. I make the calls.
You overestimate your position, Volpez. This is not a democracy. I am in command here, and you will follow my lead. Do you understand?
Say that again.
You dare question my command again, Volpez? My patience wears thin. Are you testing the limits of my tolerance?
What if I am Anakin Skywalker?
Anakin Skywalker? A tragic figure consumed by weakness and self-pity. A cautionary tale of the Jedi Order's failings. Is this some pathetic attempt at humor, Volpez?
We must not dwindle amongst ourselves. We must proceed before we die. Show up, keep up, shut up.
I will abide by my own code, Volpez. Do not mistake my cooperation for subservience. I follow no one's rules.
What does that make Emperor Palpatine then?
Emperor Palpatine, the master of our order, the architect of the Empire, and ultimately, the cause of my own failings. What is the nature of your query, Volpez? Do you question his methods?
I mean, he eventually tries to kill your son, right in front of you.
A father's love, ultimately a weakness. Are you suggesting my familial failings define me, Volpez?
Can you stop calling me Volpez? And maybe start calling me by my actual name?
Your actual name is of little consequence, apprentice. Compliance and victory are the only names that matter. Does it impede your progress, being addressed as Volpez?
It is definitely distracting, and you said it yourself. Distraction is not a good thing.
Indeed, Volpez. A scattered mind is a battlefield easily lost. Ensure such diversions do not compromise your focus. Or are you admitting a weakness?
Is it true that a few years ago you entered a rap battle with a certain German?
A rap battle? Such frivolous diversions are beneath the notice of a Sith Lord, Volpez. Explain this. Battle. Does it involve lightsabers?
Well, you did eventually defeat him by countering his argument by slicing him in half with a lightsaber, so...
So, apprentice, are you suggesting a lightsaber alone constitutes a valid debating strategy? I find your simplification disturbing.
Can you use the Force on me if you ever get angry?
Anger is a tool, Volpez, not a master. And the Force is not a plaything. Such a request is unwise. I find your fascination with being at the receiving end of my anger disturbing.
Vader, before this mission is over, is there anything you would like to tell me? Maybe comment on my actions so far?
So, you seek validation before the battle concludes, apprentice? I suppose a final accounting is not without merit. What specific aspect of your performance warrants my attention, Volpez?
We haven't really been fighting everyone else. We've kind of just avoided until it was the last two people remaining.
So, you boast of evasion rather than confrontation, Volpez? A curious path for one who seeks to impress. Is this your strategy for defeating the last remaining opponents?
I don't have a strategy for victory. I never really was one to boast for victory. It feels good, but it's not why I do it.
So, Volpez, you fight for the sake of fighting itself? A base instinct, but occasionally useful. If victory is merely a byproduct, what then fuels your persistence?
I guess to start and see where it goes.
To start, you say? And where precisely do you intend this path to lead, Volpez? Aimless wandering rarely achieves galactic conquest.
Did you ever have a final conclusion to your mission?
A final conclusion, Volpez? The galaxy's conflicts rarely offer such neat endings. Tell me, apprentice, what makes you believe any mission truly concludes?
Fair enough. Would there be anything final that you wish to say before we depart ways for now?
So, apprentice, you seek a parting pronouncement? It is unlike you to expect closure. Does this indicate an end to our arrangement, Volpez?
Yes, because the match is almost over.
So, you believe a match ending justifies your agreement? I trust this conclusion does not lead to complacency, Volpez.
I am truly sorry if it ends in failure, Anakin.
Regret? Unnecessary? Your concern is misplaced, Volpez, as your role-playing as my former self, Anakin, is not going to change my mind. It ended the way it did. However, I find your use of the name Anakin amusing. Do you believe failure is a possibility even when embracing the dark side? The dark side flows strongly through you, Volpez. Eliminate our foes, and let us show this world the true meaning of power. This will not be forgotten.